But I call the meeting to order. Thank you guys for being here early. I appreciate you guys being here. I know everybody's busy with their schedules and we're happy you're here. I think today we have Destiny and Adam. Anybody else that was not here yesterday? Heidi, perfect. So before we get started, we'd like for them to introduce themselves. And what we did yesterday was to share our name, our role here, and also role in the community, and something amazing about today that you've noticed.
I'd
Would you like to start?
all that yesterday, but I'm happy to introduce myself.
We would love for you to do it again. Right here with us.
I'm Heidi Lemming. I'm the Vice Chancellor for Student Success and Strategic Partnerships of the Tennessee Board of Regents, working on behalf of all of our students and faculty for student support. Something amazing today. I still am amazed by the fall colors. I think that we're hitting the peak. So
Thank you. Thank you. Destiny?
My name is Destiny. I serve as the chair of the Foundation of Service Committee. I am a graduate student at Vanderbilt Divinity School. And something cool about today is I think it's amazing that we get all these people in here who are passionate about service, especially in this time.
Love it. Adam?
Hey, good morning. My name is Adam Jarvis. I serve as the Chief of Staff for the Department of Finance Administration and serve as Commissioner Bryson's designee on the commission. Something amazing today, and y'all probably talked about it a bit yesterday if I had to guess. I feel like I have seen in our various Facebook groups a lot of people and organizations coming together to support those with that are going without SNAP benefits right now, and that's been really nice to see our community step up in a lot of ways.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, our agenda today is, we're going to switch it around just a little bit because we didn't get to a couple of things that we were going to do yesterday. So be patient with us, but the plan is to get finished today by 2. And I know there's some weather coming. I know some of us aren't feeling great, but let's just keep everything on point and make sure that we allow whoever needs to speak, and we'll make it. We'll get it at 2. Be ready to go, okay? All right. I'm going to call on Jim for the inspirational moment. Our person who's supposed to be here is unable to be here today. She's not feeling well, but Jim does have some information for us to share.
Yeah. Thanks, Terry. So let me share my screen for the folks that are online. Although that's the wrong screen. There we go. Okay, so hopefully the folks online can see, and hopefully the folks in the room can see the Tennessee Serves report. Just a couple of quick notes. One is the folks who have signed up to volunteer this up through October, so this calendar year through October, about a little over 5,000. Since we launched the Tennessee Serves platform in 2021, a little over 64,000. And the age distribution, that's on the sheet that you all have, the state plan document. So I'm not going to really talk about that. I will note though, this is just a sample because not all of the sub-portal license holders collect this data. So it's just the ones that do collect it, this is the numbers of the age distribution. The agency served the agency serves their total. So agencies can post their needs on the portal and try and get volunteers. This year we added 200, a little over 200 in total that are active on the platform, a little over 1,800. Now the volunteer hours, this is where we start getting into even more impressive territory. Since 2021, a little over 600,000. This year, 110,000. And if you use the kind of going rate of what you would have to pay a volunteer if you had to pay someone to do that work, and there's a national nonprofit that calculates that, that would be roughly worth about $3.8 million. This is across the entire state. So this is aggregate across the entire state of all of our partners and and what Volunteer Tennessee manages. So we're doing good stuff. We want to grow it, but we're doing good stuff.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And thanks to Anthony who pulled all this data together and who manages the Tennessee Serves platform while we're in staff transition.
Yay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This might be a good time to say thank you to our staff for all that they've done. Appreciate you so much. Okay, we're going to go through the state plan and we're going to go and review what we talked about yesterday. And we had all this discussion on all the different pieces that we wanted to maybe have an alternate piece or whether we wanted to add this or take this out or edit it. So this right here is in front of your name tag. You've got a yellow piece and a blue piece. As we go through each piece, we're going to not vote, but we're going to say, okay, yes, I'm good with that. So hold this up. If you're good, this blue's good. Okay, but if you say no, we do not need that,
No.
use your yellow.
No.
If we got enough yeses, we're going to say good, it stays. We'll move on to the next one. If we have mixture, we're going to table it and say, okay, we need to talk more about that. And we'll come back to that at the end so that we can get through it. And Jim and I talked, and we thought this might be the most, efficient way to do this. And I hope you all will agree. Are we good? So we're going to save our discussion until the end and come back to those things that we need to discuss. Does that, meet with your approval, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, all right, and I'm going to let Jim start us off.
Yeah, so pulled up the plan.
Start at 5.
Yeah. Terry and I talked about it. We figured we'd start with the easiest part first. Because again, just as a refresher, because we do have a couple folks who weren't here yesterday. Number 5, these are things that are statutorily required to be in the state plan for all state service commissions. Some of the things we don't currently do, we still need to put it in our plan and try and figure out a way to do them. But we can talk about that more later after you guys say yay or nay. But the first one is related to the retention of AmeriCorps members. And you can see the data for the past couple of years, it's been around 86%. And what the staff recommend is we just say maintain 85%. And I am going to change that to green. Yay. So the second one is this is the programs that Volunteer Tennessee supports will increase the number of volunteers and hours 2% from the baseline of 23-24. And you can see the baseline 23-24, a little over 38,000 volunteers and just a bit shy of 200,000 hours. So the one thing that I realize now is not in there is whether that should be year over year, each year, or over the 3-year period. Sorry, Kim. So my recommendation would be, so that we don't spend a whole lot of time on it, is that we shoot for 2% a year. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna track changes on this. Okay. Great. And then the third one is that the program supported by Volunteer Tennessee will serve at least 39,000 individuals for, the year that we're currently in, so the program year that we're currently in, which will bleed over into calendar year 2026 because the plan is based on calendar year. So there's a little bit of overlap between the program year and the calendar year. So 40,000, then, sorry, 39,000, then 40,000, and then 41,000. So a modest increase of 1,000 a year over the next 3 years. And you can see the baseline is just a bit shy of 40. So it would be a slight growth over the 3-year period. Then the fourth one, this is one of the ones that we don't currently really have a good way of tracking. So we would need to figure out the baseline. And then the proposal is to increase it. And for this one, because there's so much uncertainty about it, what I would say that we look to increase it by 5% by the end of the state plan. So by 2028. The folks are okay with that.
And also start tracking, and we want to define disadvantaged and underrepresented. We need to make that definition clear. That was the suggestion from yesterday.
Yeah, right. You see the notes there. Oh, did I not include it in there? Oh, yeah. You need to start find those things. That in red, though, is not, I don't think we should include that as part of the actual. I think those are just notes for us internally.
Okay.
And so for the public facing part of the plan, I think we just use the stuff that's just in regular text. That would be my recommendation anyway. Okay, the fifth one is pretty straightforward. 100% of programs meet their pledged match. And you can see we've got a little bit of growth to do here because, well, 7 out of 8 met it for the year that just finished. So that's a pretty good, but when you do the math, it's 87%. So if we want 100%, we have to work with that one program that fell short of their match, but I think we can do that.
You're not able to see it.
Um,
This screen that you're going through,
Uh-huh.
the agenda is up right now.
yeah, sorry. I'm not sure what screen I'm sharing then. Yeah, sorry for those of you online. Let me try again, sharing my screen. Sorry for those of you online. It's not operating with me. Okay, I think they should be able to see it now.
Yep, we can.
Oh, and sorry, let me really quickly, or actually, staff can, one of the staff post the commission member resource page.
Share.
Yeah, if you'll restart, this document isn't on there right now because we worked on this yesterday, and so it's not posted on the website, but the original version without the track changes from yesterday are on there. I'm sorry. So back to this. Now I think the folks online should see it. So 100% of programs that meet their pledge match. Great. And folks online, since you, yeah, you can just, if you can just raise your hand. I'm not really sure if there's an emoji that.
Should be yes and a no, or a thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah.
So if staff can kind of monitor that because I can't see, folks, there we go. See.
Anthony, can you see their responses?
Looks good now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
you.
All right, the last one under number 5 is, again, this is one that we don't currently have a method of tracking because it would require pretty much a pre and post survey, and also to do pre-post surveys of the beneficiaries, which is 3 levels down from where this commission is. But the, what we recommend including is 60% of AmeriCorps members and 50% of beneficiaries show a positive change in attitude towards civic engagement. And we discussed yesterday that Nathan says, we can get aggregate data for civic engagement attitudes. That could potentially be a way of measuring this outside of a pre and post test. Okay.
So Terry, point of clarification. So when we're voting no or yes on this, we're voting on the language or the need to discuss how to track it.
No, we're not worried about that piece. It's just the 6, that's
The
60%. Yeah. If we want to include that in our state plan, yes. And can you hold your cards back up one more time so I can see? I don't know if this is something we need to discuss a little more. Okay. I think that I'm going to put that one down for further discussion. Is that okay with y'all? Okay.
So we'll put that in yellow.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that one. Okay. Did you want to talk about the
No. we
State.
said we- Okay.
oh, the first one? Okay.
Sorry, 3. Yeah, we're gonna start at number 3 because we spent a lot of time on number 1. So we're gonna start at number 3 today.
Grab this thing.
All right, so,
That was staff.
sure, got it. Okay, so 3 is maximizing the value of communications and partnerships. Everybody seemed to be okay with the wording of the first piece. If you go on down to the proposed outputs, whoops,
Sorry.
that's
Well,
okay.
let's go down to the outcome.
Yeah.
Because that.
Okay, that's a good idea. So here's our outcome. Increase awareness of engagement in Volunteer Tennessee and its initiatives. And no one seemed to have any issues with those. So I think if you guys are good, let me know on both those, on the goal itself and the outcome, the proposed outcome for number 3. Okay, so let's look at should we go back up to the changes that we had? Go through those? Yeah, okay, all right. Some just editing, basically is what we did. And I think the first one, 80% are spotlighted in external communications because there's a lot of places we can do that. So that change, everybody good with that? Okay, so we didn't say social media newsletter, we said external communications. All right, that's good. Okay, and the second one is, I think 10 storytelling assets are created and shared. And I imagine, yeah, that's the output. So a total of 10. Everybody good with that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a better way of saying it, James, a minimum of 10. Thank you.
Do you want me to add that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. No comments. Everything seems to be okay here. We can go on down to, or do we need to discuss any of this, Jim?
Well, so there's the other stuff.
We don't have numbers.
Well, we didn't really discuss these other things yesterday. So do we want, again, I think just kind of a up, down vote. Do you all want to include these things in the plan?
Never talked about the number.
We need to come back and discuss it, or, okay, yeah.
Now with is the by 2028 part of discussion, or is that something that's we'll vote on next? Like, was that all included in the?
That's included what we'll discuss at the end.
So and for those who weren't here yesterday, anything that has like some track changes, we discussed yesterday, if there's no track changes or any kind of notes that we didn't discuss it yesterday. So all of these first, 1, 2, 3, 4, we didn't discuss those yesterday.
Right,
We
and
just
that does
discussed
come
this
from the
last-
public.
Yeah, right.
So let's look at the first one, volunteer promotion. We want to include this in our plan. Plug and play for local partners, active promotion of AmeriCorps opportunities.
And I'll say that this is kind of almost verbatim, the public input, and it's not really written as an output. It's just something that was recommended. So we would have to do some additional work to turn this into an output.
And then for clarification, when we say we don't want to include it, it doesn't mean that we cannot use it to guide how we reach these metrics, right?
100%, yes, we can.
Part of the action.
So this one, though, we're not going to come back and discuss this one, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to just put that in red. Actually, I'm going to, instead of highlighting it, we're going to do the track change and just delete.
Okay. And then 3A, updated slick materials. Co-branded. Okay,
And as we're taking these out of here and track changes, is there a little folder for action plan items like we can pull out of?
Yeah, we can,
Okay.
we can maintain this document for purposes later on for planning.
a social media campaign on storytelling, sample post, hashtags.
We've already done that, right? Like, include that, so.
Thank you. 3 toolkits developed, traditional media, paper media, electronic media, and social media.
If we're doing that, we're already doing.
Okay, develop and distribute a form to collect stories and link in the form of in the newsletter each month.
I think we already.
I think that's just.
I think
We're already doing that. We're already doing that.
Yeah.
And a lot of these are activities. Do we know that? Okay.
Yeah.
We're all going to go stories. Well, no, we do with this, not in that way.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of this is more activities because again, it was public input. And yeah, so I'm sorry. So this last one does it
Yeah, red.
Right.
strike?
Yeah.
It is stricken. Oh, let me actually do that different because that did have some additional input from yesterday. So, and if I do the track changes and delete that, it's just going to delete all of it. And I think we want to maintain, I know you can't see it right now, but I'll fix it later.
Okay. All right, and then let's go down to the sample outputs. Social media reach, we don't have a number, will increase by,
Yeah, and again, for those who weren't here yesterday, the sample outputs, those are things that have been included in previous state plans and are just here for reference in terms of things that you might include. So that's what the sample.
if you look down below, the red, increase the number of people signed up to receive, that was discussed yesterday, so
Yeah.
that might help with that first one. So VT social media reach. Okay. Increase awareness of VT and its initiatives, increase the visibility of service and volunteerism statewide. Yeah, I think, yeah. Okay. Increase statewide partnerships of service and around service and volunteerism. Yeah, okay. Develop and execute a statewide awareness campaign to promote a culture of volunteerism and service.
I think that's an activity still. You create a campaign.
Yeah, it is more of an activity. Yeah.
So yellow.
I mean, if you wanted to put numbers to it, then it would become an output.
We want one campaign.
But
Okay. Collaborate, retain more AmeriCorps members and demonstrate the opportunities that national service provides.
Isn't that kind of under number 5?
Yeah, I think
Isn't
so.
that what number 5 was?
Okay, excellent. Okay, now all right.
yes,
This came from the grants committee too. Okay, increase the number of people signed up to receive the newsletter by 3% year over year. Let me see. One.
Why is that a question? Can we not just lump it into external communication? We lumped everything else up to external communication.
Okay, so let's put that, we've got 2 yellows, so let's put that to discuss further, just a little bit further, okay? Increasing the click rate on BT communication to 10%, 2028. All right, so let's yellow that one. Of the stories collected, 8 will be spotlighted in the newsletter and on social media.
Didn't we already?
Let me see your, okay.
Oh, was it-
Yeah, that's out.
I think we already addressed that.
Yeah, I think,
Then how you do the stories, activity, right?
okay, so that completes 3, and we've got a couple of things to come back and discuss. So Destiny, I know you had something. If you'll hold that question for us, we'll come back.
Yeah.
All right.
make a note.
All right. Yay, number 3. Let's go to number 4, operating with excellence. Okay, so commission resource development, financial and program oversight, bylaws, infrastructure and personnel, supervision and management, and then our outcome to have a skilled and knowledgeable commission and organization. Okay? All right, let's start. Are we good with those? Anybody have any problem with those? Just get us started. Okay, perfect. Okay, 100%. This comes from the Board Development Committee. 100% are engaged in at least one volunteer activity each year.
And just a note for folks who weren't here yesterday, we talked about adding a question to the survey that we do after meetings so that people can put into that survey whether or not they volunteered outside of the Volunteer Tennessee stuff. So this is a good one. This is a key.
Okay. Okay, let's go down to the next one. Do we need to talk about communications, SPC? What does this mean? Does this connect with the outcome? The service projects done at the retreat, is that what you were referring to? Does anybody remember?
Well, I think we discussed it yesterday. I mean, I think those were just questions about what we just voted on.
Okay, we think we're good.
Yes, we're good.
Okay, good. So let's go down to 100% or 95% of commissioners participating in at least one site visit every 3 years, a grant review or a public Volunteer Tennessee initiative by 2028.
Yeah.
That's like, I think.
Okay, let's look at 100%. Is there 100%? Yes or no?
Everybody in 3 years does one of those things.
Okay.
It's like right up there.
How many yellows? One. That goes.
So the 100%.
100% goes.
Instead of 95.
Yes.
So. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Commissioners participate in 75% of the meetings.
What? I'm sorry, were you all, so the other thing that was a potential addition that's different from the original language was every 3 years
Yes.
as opposed to every year?
Yeah.
So all of that
Yes.
entire thing. Right.
Everyone should be able to do one of those,
Well, yes, because right now it's got both of them in there, so we have to,
and at least one side visit every 3 years.
Oh, so I guess you would take out by 2028, whatever you don't, one of those.
Okay, we're gonna hold that, but we're gonna table that, and we're gonna come back to it, okay? So we got some discussion to do, that's fine. Okay, commissioners will participate in 75% of the meetings. Okay, good,
so either in person or virtual.
that is correct. 100% or 85% of eligible governor appointed, not included ex officio commissioners participate in-kind or financial giving each year. Are we good with 100%?
Yeah.
Okay. Each year, okay. Are we good? All right. Staff individualized work plans align to with state service plan priorities for using shared platforms like Outlook Planner. Anyway,
Yeah, I think the stuff in
yeah.
parentheses,
Yeah.
just a note.
So basically their work plans are aligned with the state service plan priorities. A question?
Yes, on the previous one, I think you had 3 or 4 yellows. Is there like a number?
Did I miss, I
think
thought I
you had
saw
a couple of
one.
yellows on the previous.
Okay,
On this one,
Or at least.
of those given,
One around eligible, yeah, the giving, you had a couple of yellows. I didn't know.
I thought I saw one. Okay, let's go back and make sure 100% of eligible commissioners
Appointed.
given. So yes or no? Go ahead and let's
Vote on that.
vote again.
Governor.
Vote again.
Governor appointed.
Governor appointed.
What we're saying.
but there's still some yellows.
Do you think that's something we need to talk about? It sounds, I see 2 yellows. Let's go back. We'll come back to it. Okay, thank you, Nathan. All right, individualized work plans aligned with the state service plan priorities. Okay, all right, good. Okay, got that? All right, number of external tools or SOPs or activity tools developed or updated collaboratively across teams,
And then the alternate that we discussed is the.
and audit of programs to identify gaps in SOPs.
I don't
The
understand.
standard operating procedures.
Are we voting on the alternate? Which are we voting?
Let's take the first one, number of external tools or SOPs, and see how we feel about that, if that needs to be included.
We don't have a number.
Right. Okay, an audit of programs to identify gaps in SOPs.
So the first part is no go, right?
Got one? Okay, we're good. Just one.
So we're good on this.
Yes,
So it's include or to the.
to include. Okay. Do we need to do anything with the activity?
I don't think so. I think that was just a note.
Foundations of service, that's a really good idea. It's a 1-page activity.
But I like that.
Okay. All right, let's move on down to output. And this came from the Combined Communications SPC Committee. Create volunteer ambassadors as superheroes, oh, excuse me, super volunteers to assist with outreach.
Superhero.
Is everybody good with that? I think it's a fabulous idea. Betty,
Activity.
Where that goes.
it's not,
Like it's an activity.
It is an
and We were
activity.
talking about referring that to friends also,
which we did.
so I don't know that it needs to be there.
I just like to know if everybody thinks it's a good idea.
Oh, I think,
But not for the.
Yeah,
but not for the plant, so we should vote yellow.
It's an
We don't
activity.
want it in the plant.
it's an activity. Yeah.
There we go.
Do you have that down, James?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, increase understanding and knowledge of new commissioners by revising new commissioner orientation. I think that's an activity as well. So this does not need to be included in the plan, but that is something we definitely want to do, right?
An activity, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now these are proposed outputs from the public. catchy taglines repeated in our meetings and staff meetings. So on everyone, okay, you got it. All right. Question, recruiting high quality applicants. I think we're doing that. We had a good application pool, so that was a good comment from the public. Sample outputs from previous plans. We already did this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we can skip that one, or,
Yeah, it's, yeah.
site visits, we already did that one too, did we not?
Yep.
Yep. Non-governmental funding, increase non-governmental funding by,
Are we talking about donations or external? Or we did talk about that yesterday?
we did not talk about that yesterday.
Discussion.
Discussion?
Discussion.
Okay, let's, non-discussion, a yes or no, first, let's say yes or no first,
State plan.
because some, if you're
Not in.
not in the state plan, okay. But definitely on the agenda to talk about at a different time, and I think an ad hoc committee has, maybe that can go with that ad hoc committee, okay. Commissioner attendance, we already got that, right? Okay, aligned staff and financial, we already did that one as well, did we not? Okay, thank you, number 4.
Well, and this was, oh, sorry, that's the
Mhm.
outcome.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought-
Now, I just want to take a minute here. Do we need a brain break?
No.
Are we good? For everybody, just want to make sure, because sometimes we get, okay,
Don't look
That
at the
was
screen
number-
as I'm scrolling down, or you might go into sensory overload and all the colors.
all right, so that was
Okay, then
number
number 2.
4. Was that number 4? So we're going number 2. Okay, thank you, guys. All right, so building capacity for volunteer success. A, B, and C. Placement, programming, promotion, and engagement. So let's go down to the outcome.
Oh, we added. one.
Yes. Okay, organizations have resources to recruit, retain, and manage volunteers efficiently and effectively. Are we good with that? Okay, the grants committee wanted to add, to gather a baseline, and is this the outcome or an activity? And, gather a baseline of increased knowledge due to trainings during the first year, increased by 5% in consecutive years.
That seems like.
Well, an increase in knowledge could be an outcome.
Yeah, but it needs. We discussed this.
We did. Is this something that the board would like to? Okay. Okay, thank you.
So is this to get rid of it completely?
Right.
I think it would be an
Or
activity.
include as an activity?
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back up and go through number 4, or
That's good.
number 2, sorry. Okay, we did not talk about the number of trainings. We said we do want to add a percentage of trainings or a number of trainings provided by Volunteer Tennessee subgrantees. Well, will increase by, I don't know what, 2028.
When the discussion yesterday, the Communication Strategic Partnerships proposed an alternate version.
Yeah.
That is there.
Development of training and support plan for all VT programs. So let's vote on the alternate first, because we discussed that yesterday. How do you feel about the alternate output? Development of training and support plan for all VT programs. Okay. Do we want to put a number, trainings, and increase that number of trainings by 2028? Do we want to include that in our plan?
To increase.
Right. Want to hear? Okay, let's strike that. Okay. Well, I'm gonna start with the alternate, because we did talk about this yesterday. Instead of looking at the number of counties, participation will increase. And there are 2 alternates here. The first one is increase of at least 4 to 5 counties year over year participating in GVSA by 2028. Or at least 75% of the counties will submit at least one honoree. Now, if we need to discuss that a little bit, we had a discussion yesterday, but I think we could flesh that out a little better today if you would want more discussion on that. So let's look at the first one. Increase by 4 to 5 counties year over year participating by 2028. Okay. All right, and the second one, each year, at least 75% of the counties will submit at least one honoree. Yes. That's. Okay, next one, number of informational events.
Want to strike this then?
Yes, we strike the first alternate, yes. Number of informational events to promote Tennessee, serves at various nonprofit organizations, universities. Okay, let's vote on that. We don't have a number yet, but informational events to promote. 10 serves at,
I'd also say this is very similar to the, one of the communications thing that we said was an activity.
okay. Okay. AmeriCorps programs responding that program directors' trainings are helpful or very helpful will meet or exceed by 80%. Okay. All right, number of organizations receiving VT training and supports. I'm trying to look at that.
Well, there's no number.
Combined with
Number
first
later.
outlet,
We,
separate
we scroll up just slightly. Jen,
Yeah,
to where
we can't
it's
see
higher
it on.
than that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
during the first year.
Looks great to me.
So let's look at during the first year, gather baseline of organizations receiving training if 160 is not the baseline, then increase by 5% year over year. We were questioning whether that 160 was the baseline. Is that acceptable for the state plan? During the first year, gather baseline of organizations receiving training, then increase by 5% year over year.
I would say yes.
Three. Let's put that in yellow. Yeah.
Last part.
Mhm. Okay, and let's go back to the top. Let's vote on that one. Number of organizations receiving volunteer Tennessee training and supports. Want to keep it or get rid of it? Because we're gonna come back and discuss the bottom during the first year, gather a baseline.
With that, that's gonna be deleted.
Let's put that in yellow, because we'll come back and discuss this a little further.
Okay.
Okay, number of AmeriCorps sub-grantees that improve in risk assessment scores year over year. Percentage.
How many?
Yeah, I think that.
Do we need to discuss that further? Is it a yes or a no? Okay, we're gonna strike that. Okay. All right, public proposed outputs. Questions? Grants Committee recommends including this output, number of volunteer opportunities that have at least one volunteer. Okay. Repeat volunteers, building volunteer leaders who train, support other volunteers. Do we track skills of volunteers? Does Galaxy track skills? So it's basically tracking skills of volunteers.
Yeah, again, this is public input, and so I just put all of their input in here. But it's essentially, if someone volunteers more than once a year was kind of I think the gist of it.
I feel like several of these we ended up looping into goal number one yesterday.
Goal
Yeah.
number one has some of this similar stuff.
Okay, so the next, okay, do you have that one?
So we're.
Take it out.
Take this out,
Yes.
so, right?
Okay, the next one, I'm gonna go down to the alternate. Increase the number of volunteers placed through 10 serves by 15% by 2028, 5% each year. If you have some questions, hold up a yellow, and that way we know we need, okay, I think we need to come back to this one. We'll come back to this one and discuss. And we'll save the discussion for the top part as well and try to loop those together. Okay. All right, increasing the number of platforms, can we pull up all organizations? That's a question. I don't know that that's, yeah, I agree. Next one, 25 trainings provided by Volunteer Tennessee in 2024, number of trainings provided.
I think we just.
Yeah, we did that one.
Yeah. Strike it. We've already addressed it. Okay, number of volunteers that go through trainings, gold stars for trainings, or like the Presidential Fitness Awards. Okay. Number of organizations loading volunteer opportunities. Oh, so the number of organizations loading volunteer opportunities to the portal. We want to track that.
We want to track it, or do we
Do we-
want it in the plan?
We want in the plan. I'm sorry. Thank you. One in the plan. Okay. Okay, the grants committee wanted to add the number of active agencies with successful volunteer placements on 10 search will increase by 5% year over year. Okay. Green. All right. Sample outputs from previous years. Attendance at the TCVSL will increase by something in 2028. Do we want to add that as an output, an increase of attendance?
To discuss.
Maybe not
To
now's the
discuss.
time. You want to discuss?
I know we're pulling together this special team to work on it, so I feel bad, like, picking an arbitrary number if we're gonna, yeah, I thought you should dismiss it.
Discuss? Okay, discuss. Nonprofit participation in 10 serves will increase by something in 2028. Is it worth a discussion, or do you want to strike?
We already covered that.
I thought we already covered it.
Nonprofits in 10 serve, okay, so strike. Okay. Address Tennessee's most pressing needs with VT initiatives, define needs broadly, look to partners to define those needs. I think that's what we're doing. Okay, increase, okay, grants committee recommends including this one, increase nonprofit, government, business, and educational institution capacity for engaging volunteers effectively. Thank you. Okay. Expand nonprofit infrastructure provision in underserved areas. I feel like that we're talking about that, and yeah. Okay. That's two. Yeah. Okay, so the goal for number one, supporting a robust network of volunteers and service learners. Older, youth to older, urban, rural, corporations to individuals, and our awards program. All right, let's scroll down to our out.
Can I put these in yellow?
Yeah. Just to the, yes, that's fine. Okay. Outcome, engaged and consistent Tennessee volunteers and members. Are you guys good with that? Because we did change it. Okay, all right, perfect. Okay. Number of individual volunteer or individuals that volunteer with the Tennessee Serves Network more than one time each year. So in other words, if they volunteer more than one time.
We need a number.
Yeah. We gotta talk about that one.
The number.
We don't have a number. Volunteers from Tennessee Serves Network match average age distribution. Let's go to the alternative. Plan for alignment with all 10 serves sub-licensees. Plan aligns.
So, I think, we might need to, it's like, create plan for alignment, because what this was, I mentioned it earlier when we were talking about the age distribution. Not all of the sub-license holders are collecting the same information. They're all collecting some baseline information, but they're not all collecting some of the things that would go into some of these. And that's what the suggestion was yesterday, is that we make a plan to align all the sub-licensees so that they're all collecting, at least at a minimum, the stuff that this body wants to use for the plan.
So yes or no?
Discuss.
Was that a
Yes,
no?
discuss.
A discuss. Perfect. Okay, so now we're looking at online volunteers in rural areas. Look at the number, okay, the alternative plan, again, a written plan on how to increase usage of, I think that's the same thing we need to discuss, right? The overall goal is to increase the usage. Yes? Okay,
Yes.
okay. Volunteers match average geographic distribution for Tennessee. Compared to Tennessee census averages. Probably need to discuss this whole
I
thing.
think all three of those were around the same idea. of,
I think so
can we
too.
accurately do
Yeah.
this if everybody's collecting?
Okay,
That's not all of it. That's basically it.
okay, so we'll come back and discuss this when we start our discussion. Sounds good? The next proposed outputs comes from staff. That's okay. Yeah, there you go. 5% increase from 2025 baseline of volunteers activated in the corporate social purpose network programming and events. Yes, yes.
That's in the 3-year time span, right? Over the course. The 5% increase over 3 years? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
So
over 3 years. Is that correct?
Or you just want to say by 2028.
By 2028.
I think we assumed it was implied, but yeah, I think we can.
Okay.
For clarity.
All right. Okay, these are from the public. Levels of volunteer. Okay, this goes back to the badge system. I'll create a plan for individual volunteer recognition. Okay. Connect like-minded volunteers together, maybe creating a Facebook group. Number of volunteers that go through trainings for Gold Star, for whatever.
I think we have it covered.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sample outputs. These are from previous plans. Tennessee's volunteerism rate will increase by something by 2028. We just need the number. If you guys think that we want to put that in our state plan. Discuss.
That's enough.
Let's stop it, man.
Would you like for this to be added to the plan, first of all? Yes or no? Add it to the plan?
Yeah.
But discuss the number.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
The number of volunteers utilized by VT initiatives will increase. I think that's the same thing. We kind of need to, do we want to have it in the plan?
but this is under number 5.
Right. The number of volunteers utilized by Volunteer Tennessee initiatives will increase by some number. We want to have that in the plan? Yes or no? No, no, not in the plan. Okay, All 95 counties will participate by 2028 in the GBSA.
Can't do that.
Okay, all right.
Now, we can go back and discuss them.
Okay, let me see where everybody is. I'm gonna ask the group this question. Jim and I are trying to decide, do we want to go ahead and go to the discussion now? Or do you want to discuss the 55 and older plan? Should we hold that one off? What's your desire?
Let's finish this one first.
Yeah, on the roll, it's fresh.
And we were in our health.
Do we need a brain break? Do you need a little break before we get into this?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, 5 minute break.
So folks online,
10:35.
folks online, hopefully you heard that. We're gonna take a short break.
Right to it.
No, I'm not watching. Can't do that. That's me, this is my whole.
I'm gonna move back there so I'm not blocking your view. I'm like.
Yeah, are you going to?
Thank you.
I've hit so many buttons there. Sorry, folks online. So for the folks online, I'm not sure how long it's been muted, but in the room, everybody agreed that the mission, the vision and mission, the new versions are good. So if anybody online objects strongly to that, just say so in the chat or speak up.
Okay. All right, Anthony, can you talk with us about Galaxy possibilities?
So the site is great. Obviously, we're able to track what you guys have seen so far, things like hours, things like the number of volunteers, et cetera. There are some limitations when it comes to the way that the portal has been set up and the way that we kind of administered it. So there's a lot of backtracking that we need to do with our sub-license holders to make sure that they all are collecting at least at the minimum the data that you guys do want. So if that is zip code, age, et cetera. Essentially, some programs are collecting it, some are not. So we just need to clean that up internally to get them all aligned. I would say that's probably the biggest thing. Outside of that, the portal is pretty well versed in tracking the things that people do input into the system. So
Anthony, can you talk a little bit more specifically about that? Was Galaxy able to help us figure out a way to track if someone volunteers more than once in a year that doesn't involve essentially downloading the entire database and going through it and pulling out duplicates?
So I spoke to the Galaxy Digital rep last week, and we can customize a report. There are some costs associated with that if you really wanted that information. But unfortunately, the way that the system is set up now, it is kind of hard to just pull up a one-time volunteer to get that information. We would have to, the way we do it now is to pull all volunteer hours and then kind of manually go through it to see, okay, this person did it once, this person did it twice, et cetera.
I'd like to make a recommendation that we not include this one at this time.
You want to agree or yes? We
Yeah,
agree with you?
we can agree that.
Okay, yeah.
Real quick, I would add one report that we did come up with that's not part of this is we were able to see how many people have volunteered multiple times with one agency. So if they volunteered with Volunteer Memphis, this is how many people did it once, this is how many people did it twice. That's a report that is able to do it, but to go down to the specific volunteer, that would be challenging.
Okay, so we've decided that we're not going to include this one. All right. All right, let's go
Can I ask a
to,
question
yes.
about this?
Oh,
So we're able to go to the organization, that same organization, because you're reporting, how many times the same person has volunteered? Can we not use that
Kind of
instead?
repeat volunteer.
Yeah, you repeated volunteer. Is that what we're trying to gauge?
But it won't tell you, it won't tell you like John Doe volunteered once or John Doe volunteered 3 times. It just tells you for that organization, they had X number of people who volunteered more than once. Or X number of people who volunteered.
So we'll give you John Doe volunteered 2024, 2025, 26, same name. We couldn't do it that way.
Well, we could, but that's where you have to download the entire database and go through it and pull out the ones that are duplicates, and the ones that are duplicates are people who volunteer more than once.
It's a,
Krista, did you have a question?
Yes, I did. Could it be that we, instead of saying the number of individuals, maybe the metric is that we kind of formulate my thoughts on this. We track the number of organizations that have volunteers that volunteered more than once in a year. Because that's the number that we can hold. Would it be valuable for the plan to know that and to increase that?
Discussion? Do we need, is this the information that we want to have?
But can we? That's what you just
That's
said.
what you said,
So the deeper question is, just because we can track it,
right,
doesn't mean that it needs to be on the plan.
right.
Not.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Volunteers from Tennessee Serves Network match age distributions for Tennessee. Let's see, and then the alternative is plan for alignment with all 10 Serves sub-licensees.
And this goes back to what Anthony was saying is right now, not everybody is collecting age information. Some of them are, some of them aren't. And so if you want to include this, we would have to then do that alignment and make sure that everybody's collecting at least well, it's not something that would have to be created. They would have to just start tracking that information.
Destiny?
So is what I'm hearing is that we have to wait. There's another, I don't know if it was 3 or 4 that we discussed that we're creating a plan
Yeah.
to give to volunteer the agencies. Do we need to wait till that is in place and then come back to this when we start the next plan and then bring these back out once we already have that data? After we have a plan created?
It's an option. That's a very
I
good
would agree
idea.
with that, but I would include those things as an activity so that it doesn't just get forgotten about. And then when we come back to the new plan, we're having the same conversation.
Yes, that's like.
I wonder if we need a different color for activities.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna add a note here. If I can,
Thank you, Jessica.
so, I think one thing, Destiny, I don't know if you were saying wait until the next 3-year plan or just wait till next year.
I don't know how, I really don't remember the date that was in the create plan to tell you that.
There was no date.
Oh, okay.
There was no date.
Well,
So, the reason I ask is because, if you want to revisit this thing to potentially add into the plan next year, because you all review and revise this plan on an annual basis.
Yeah.
If you want to revisit it next year and say, okay, now we know everybody's on the same page, everybody's collecting the same data, let's now add this to the plan, you can add it next year.
I think we can circle back.
Yeah.
Where you circle back, it's very close.
And I think it will be the same for the next one because written plan on how to increase the usage of 10 serves, I think it's the same, right?
One question though, are we gonna have any output with all 4?
Well,
We're hoping.
Like that, I think is there a way to just lump all of these into one generic output? That, I don't know.
That's a
So
good
that's why we
idea.
don't have an output.
Yeah,
I mean, we might have to go back and create, because we don't have the data,
Yeah.
but we didn't have that information when we created this, but now we know, we didn't know.
isn't the output that we want to create this plan and
That's what I
put this into place?
So we just need to move it from, because that's written in somebody else's, or that's written in somewhere else already.
There's a training plan. Is there a plan around Galaxy Digital? Because I think we voted on that.
I don't think so. I think there is for training and,
Okay,
But if it is somewhere else, I agree. We shouldn't have it twice.
yeah,
Well, yeah, so there's the plan for alignment
yeah.
on this one and then plan for alignment, but they're all in the same section.
So we,
But there is separately, there was a proposal for a plan for training and technical.
Yeah.
assistance.
so what I'm hearing is, can we just take the alternatives and make that one?
One big output.
So create a plan for alignment for all.
yeah, yes. Does that sound good to you? Everyone here?
Yeah.
So that our output will be to create a plan on how to increase the usage of 10 serves and
I think just alignment of the license. Thanks for that.
that's enough.
Are we gonna implement the plan?
Well, once we gotta have the plan, then we can come back and visit it.
So I'm sorry, so I think there were two separate.
Nathan, would you repeat what you said? Because
I don't know what I said.
you said create a plan on how to align
On alignment.
alignment with all 10 serve sub-licensees. I think that's what
Yeah,
I said.
basically what's under the first person that, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's fine. Try to plan
Plan for alignment
of
with all 10
10
serve sub-licensees. Do we, and James, do we want to add, not only create the plan, but implement it in this coming year?
Well, it's gotta be a process of approving it, but it seems pretty straightforward. We know what we're doing, just do it.
Do we want to add implement?
As
Or-
another output, just have an output is what you're saying?
No,
Or you're saying.
With this one? yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Betty?
I just have a question of whether we can create and implement it within 1 year. Now,
Right.
if you want to do it by
Planning on getting
2028,
information.
I think that's great.
That's a good point.
By
By
2028,
2028.
By 2028, Destiny,
So what I'm hearing is, can we just create a plan by the end of whatever this year is? Next, implement a plan by the end of the following year, whatever that year is. So 2026, 2027. And then,
Just,
yeah,
yeah, because all we're talking about is adding questions to what?
well, we have to,
well,
Yeah, but what, so staff needs to clarify this, if I'm understanding it right, we need to get information that we're not currently getting from everybody, and we want it from everybody.
correct.
So they need to tell us that time frame. We can't tell, they need to tell us.
what's
When
real,
are we gonna have numbers? Like, if they do this tomorrow, are we gonna have numbers by the end of 2025? Is it that easy?
Do we need to be that specific? Can we just say create a plan on alignment with all sub-licensee holders and implement within by 2028?
Yes,
And
that's what
to
I'm.
that, do we need their approval? Because that's a hiccup
just-
there.
just because we create the plan. Yeah, like we create the plan, what would be time and then would be if the agencies, how long does it take for the agencies to adapt to this change? But we can go ahead and create a plan and then,
In our plan, ideally, we're addressing those things.
yeah,
Yes,
In the
right.
plan.
Yeah.
Well, then you could be included and develop a timeline. For implement,
Okay,
implementing.
it's, so create a plan alignment
you just gotta tell them.
with a timeline.
Getting everybody.
With a timeline to execute or something. Okay. Does that sound good to everybody? So create a plan on alignment with a timeline to execute the plan.
Yes, no.
I know, but I'm not wordsmithing as well, but if you want to add to, okay, there we go. Thank you. All right. Good. Is everybody good with that?
Yes.
Perfect.
I think the way I typed it is probably a little bit different than what you
Thank you.
said.
That's okay.
So, sorry,
That's totally fine.
is that wording,
I think you would say this term, so you don't say plan twice, create a plan for alignment with all sub-licensee holders and timeline for implementation.
There you go.
That way you don't say.
That sounds
twice,
better.
It's not over.
For implementation, yeah. Okay, is everybody good? Perfect. Thank you. All right, let's move on down to the next. Yeah,
so this is definitely going in, does that mean all of this other stuff gets lumped into?
that's our output right there.
Yeah, I think that all four of those other ones we're considering to be a part of that one.
Yes.
Okay, um,
We just, yeah, because we don't think we can do all those other ones.
so then can I change this to red then to just for
Yes,
keeping track of?
yes,
Like, all that stuff's not gonna go into the final written version.
correct. Okay, it's going down the next year. Okay.
So then we're down to,
So we're looking at volunteerism rate increases. Do we want to put a number percentage here? Or
So
is,
on this topic, I think it's a bit of a reach to measure and like to claim that we have the ability to connect what we do specifically with an increase in volunteerism in the state. I think measuring volunteerism within the activities that we do, you can show like a correlation to that. We're a small, influential, but like we're not the whole picture. So like whether the volunteerism rate fluctuates, it might decline because, or it might increase because like maybe people are unemployed at significantly higher rates. So they volunteer more, they volunteer less, and that's like vastly outside of our control, regardless of the programs that we do. So I think tying ourselves to the state rate, I think measuring increases in scale of like what we do, you can probably make some like light connections there, but I just don't know if that is a goal or an output that we can even directly like demonstrate that like we did that.
Discussion?
That's just like volunteerism rate across the state. Like I've said before, there's no way for me to report my numbers But until we see maybe a portal where other volunteer agencies that aren't in our system, if that needs to either be defined with our programs, which is what we're doing,
Right?
because it can't be the whole state, because there's no way to report those numbers.
Plus one,
I'm sorry,
plus one.
+1? Okay. So do we want to take this out? Yes. Vote. Take it out? Yes or no?
Take it out.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
All right, we're gonna take that one out.
Stop, that's good work.
In a perfect world, we'd have some pop-ups. No, yes, maybe what. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to discuss here? Nathan?
I feel like based off of our goals, supporting a robust network of volunteers and service partners, at this moment in time, we don't have a single output that measures volunteers.
Right.
Even our volunteers. So I feel like there's got to be something, even if it's just the volunteers that we can directly track and control. We just deleted every volunteer measure.
But I mean,
What's in 5, Jim?
5 just about AmeriCorps though, right?
No, that includes
You did
the,
everything.
so some of them are specific to AmeriCorps, but the one about volunteers is across all the
Yeah,
programs. Yeah. So,
Not measuring statewide anything, because you don't have all the other agencies that are in the system.
right, it's just measuring volunteer Tennessee programs.
Yeah.
There are some parts we talked about adding some training for volunteers, right? Can that move under goal 1 since it's supporting a robust network of volunteers?
We could, but I will tell you that right now we don't have anything where Volunteer Tennessee directly trains volunteers.
But
So
that
we
would
don't
be
have
the
to,
goal.
but yeah, that
Even
would
if
be
we
the goal
don't,
are the
we could
resources.
establish that's what we want, which I think we said we want to see happen, right?
So do we want to add an output on the number of, or increasing the number of volunteers that we directly affect? Is that something we want to have in this particular goal?
I mean, again, I think when we're measuring Galaxy Digital
Mhm.
numbers, things like that, that's our pool that we have access to. I don't know where it's at elsewhere, but I mean, if we were seeing an increase in volunteers in that system just broadly, I mean, you could do something like that if you wanted to ask.
So just increase usage of the platform.
Yeah, because that's our infrastructure.
We do have the ability to track. I mean, he could pull a report now that says, here's how many users there. Now, whether or not they come back again, but those are the things we gotta figure out in a plan.
Right.
The number of volunteers on the platform. We can track currently.
And I do want to call out that the goal under A is expand reach to all Tennesseans.
Mm-hmm,
So if we're going to do that, then we are going to have to do something different.
mm-hmm.
And saying, because we haven't done it before, it's not going to get us to reach that goal. So maybe we need to determine if that needs to be a focus of ours or not. But if we, I don't,
And then the other side of that too, we have the awards programs up there, see this, that thing is listed,
Mm-hmm.
so, or when you take it off. So.
or look at what else is in the plan that addresses those and move them under goal 1.
Yeah, well, the other distinction is that this goal was focused on individual volunteers. The second goal was focused on organizational support. And so the GDSA, I think, is in the second one, because that's where we talked about having 75% of counties participate.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that helps with the distinction.
Okay, so with the information that we have now, could the Foundation of Service Committee go back in our time today and just give 3 more outputs that we could put together and present back based on all the information that we just had today? So we can move on to another area.
Well, it depends on how much time it takes to get through this, because we have to approve this today. And we need we need it ready to go today. So I don't know if we're gonna get to that time.
I guess what I'm saying, you don't have nothing to prove right now.
Right.
So when are we gonna come
We're
up with
working on
outputs to put in that, right?
I think, I mean, that's definitely an idea. But it sounds like that this group wants to increase the number of volunteers that are affected by Volunteer Tennessee's initiatives. Could we make that an output somehow? Could we squeeze that into an output here?
We can, but I'm saying that doesn't reach the entire goal to expand the reach to all Tennesseans. So do we need
Well,
to?
we've got programs all across the state.
Yeah.
did we not just say we were only focusing on our area of reach right now? Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, that's our, but
I guess when we say all Tennesseans, that's people who are also outside of the galaxy that we have contact with, right? That's the purpose of this goal. But
right.
what I'm hearing in this conversation is we're saying, hey, let's do what we can in this area. So to me, then our goal does not align with the outputs that we are creating. So either we need to change the goal
Okay.
or add some outputs that meet what the initial goal is.
Right. And so my suggestion is that we create one output that what we've been talking to about increasing the number of volunteers from Volunteer Tennessee's and initiatives.
Okay.
Not just Galaxy based, but our programs across the state. I mean, tell me what let's have some discussion on that. But otherwise, I don't know if we're going to get to the small groups, the committees. If we do, that would be great, but I don't know that that's going to happen.
Okay.
What's the pleasure of the commission? What?
We can have a discussion now, for the betterment of the group, but to the point, I think it would be the supporting of a robust network of volunteers that's, once again, external. If we're trying to do internal here in that space, then we, once again, we just need to update the goal, so we can focus on that.
So you think we need to update the goal itself?
If we're not gonna come up with outputs today. Or any additional outputs based off
I
of
mean,
time.
one of the things I've suggested is, and I know, Jim, y'all have looked into it to a degree, is you would get better volunteer numbers statewide that aren't in our system if there was a portal where I could enter my numbers and other nonprofits could enter their numbers who aren't part of our system, and we get a better gauge of volunteering across the state. But I guess that is something you can use Tennessee portals. Like I put in my hours, that's what Anthony and I were working on. I put in my hours for yesterday. And I'm not, I mean, there's no organization that I connected to except said who can verify my hours, Jim. And so,
That's the First Lady system, though. That's not
Yeah.
our system. And so we don't have any access to that data. Right now, I mean, we could ask for it.
So I mean, what you're saying is perhaps the
Yeah.
output is the creation of a tracking mechanism for all service or broad service
broad
beyond
service, yeah,
Yeah,
our own
and
initiative.
build on that, but we need a baseline for that, but we first need the way to be able to track it.
yeah. So I'll tell you right now, what we're currently using with Galaxy Digital costs us around that $70,000 a year. We're talking about doing something like that. That's going to be that much more probably. So to create another system on top of the system that we already have, my opinion is that's not gonna work. It's financially, it's not gonna work. I mean,
Is it possible to go to A and say expand reach to all Tennesseans by way of 10 serves? Instead of all Tennesseans, to kind of slightly change that just a little bit, because I hear what Destiny and LaShannon are saying. So would it be helpful if we reworded that A?
Just say expand reach for all participants within the network.
Uh-huh.
Or within BT initiative.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, within Volunteer Tennessee and all that.
You're saying
Yes.
just as long as they're
Yes.
mostly tracking what we give them.
We can only talk about.
How does that sound? Can we word that? What we said, expand reach to all Tennesseans within Volunteer Tennessee Network. Any discussion?
One thing I would say is the plan in that section that replaced the other items. It seems like the action part of the plan would be looking at where those like gaps are and building on that to identify like where we might focus to increase participation of certain like already rural communities. Why do we have disparities there and how we can engage those in our programs?
Okay.
It seems like that has a build towards it.
Okay. Okay, let's go back up to what we just changed. And any other discussion on this or any changes on this? Can we vote to see if this is acceptable at this point?
Change the goals.
The goal, A, 1A.
Can I also then,
Please.
as a result of this, go back to that output that we mixed and reconsider it? Because
Okay,
Which one?
the number, first
the
one,
one that, sorry, that was a very broad statement.
the number of
Tennessee
individuals.
volunteers and rate. We want to reconsider that because now we've changed the goal. Is there a way that we can change this output to fit the goal? So that we can measure some sort of increase in how it's volunteer.
Tennessee's engaged, yes, it's been volunteer
So-
initially.
Could I also add, so we kind of collapsed a bunch of these things under this create a plan.
Mhm.
But this last one, volunteers match average geographic distribution for Tennessee. That is something that we can currently track. The numbers are there right now. The census data is there. There's no reason why this last one couldn't be in the plan.
Okay,
Right.
and can we consider Krista's suggestion of that one right there, as sample outputs? So volunteer Tennessee's somehow confining it to what we're able to affect will increase by 5%. That's where we've been sort of. We've been 5. Go ahead.
Talk about the top one in the sample.
Yes.
That's again a.
Oh, we're not talking about all Tennesseans. We're talking about what's within our
How-
network.
Okay, then you need to say that.
Right,
That's what.
Yes.
Replicate that.
Yes.
So you're saying Tennessee's volunteerism rate, or Tennessee's volunteer engagement rate in the initiative?
Right,
yes,
will be-
right.
Yeah, that's right.
5%. Have we been doing 5?
That's the suggestion that I'm making is that we revisit this and reword it now that we've changed the goal, reword it so that it fits the goal.
Okay.
Right, not accept it as it is, but reword it now that we've made some other changes.
So we've got 2 suggestions. First one is that we look at this first output and reword it so that it meets the goal wording. And the second one is.
Yeah, sorry.
what's the second one?
That we bring back the one about geographic.
Thank you.
because
Yes, yes,
that
yes.
We can't. track.
Yes, yes.
I've done a split screen and I don't know, ignore this red part in the middle. But the one that's in number 5, again, is across all of Volunteer Tennessee's programs, not just Tennessee Serves, AmeriCorps, volunteer centers, et cetera. It doesn't say percentage. Actually, it does. Volunteer and hours, 2% year over year from baseline. Which would be the same. So we can duplicate that in this part of the goal because an output can reach more than one goal and more than one outcome. So that would be my recommendation if you want to include something about increasing the volunteer rate, that it use the same language that's
Okay.
already in the plan elsewhere.
Krista, does that sound like kind of what we're,
That sounds like about what I'm trying to suggest that we consider.
okay, so let's do that. Let's add that up there and also add the one that you said we can measure. That gives us 3 outputs with the newly revised goal.
Volunteers and hours within the volunteer.
Mhm.
Yeah, supported by, yeah,
Supported by.
one thing is classes. Programs supported by.
Okay.
Just not.
And then go ahead and pull down that one that you told us about, the distribution. Okay, so now we have 3 outputs. We have 4. Yes, we do. Thank you. Yeah.
So this one's green.
But let's vote. Is everybody, let's look at the first one. Volunteers match average geographic distribution. Yes? For an output? Okay, all right, that's green. Create a plan. That one's already done. Programs supported by Volunteer Tennessee will increase number of volunteers and hours 2% year over year. Okay, yeah, I agree. Okay. My bad. Just tell me to. Okay, any other discussion about this? I think that was, are we good with where we are with this? Thank you. Okay. All right. Yeah, we need to talk about
think this one, the number of organizations.
Training and supports. Okay, what goal are we looking at, Jim?
Oh, sorry, this is, goal 2,
Okay,
building capacity for volunteers.
are y'all ready to move on? Okay, let's do it. This is,
And I'm gonna take this out of yellow highlight so that
Okay.
it's a little easier to read.
okay. Okay, so grants committee, can you give us a little bit of context on this during the first year of baseline? Just because it's something folks weren't here yesterday, if you could.
Yeah,
Thank you. I know we weren't sure if 160 is the baseline. Do we know for sure that 160 is the baseline, first of all?
think that's what we wanted to.
Do we know that 160 organizations receive support and training in 2024-25? Is that a fact, a statistic?
Yeah, well, again, that number includes, individuals representing organizations that attended the conference. The individuals that are part of programs that Volunteer Tennessee funds, and so that have attended some sort of training or that kind of thing that we do for those program staff. And then it also includes people who represented organizations who attended, for example, the Community Emergency Response Team Train the Trainer training that we organized back in April. So it's a variety of things. Most of them are like straight up training type activities. There might be 1 or 2 things in there that if you were like really splitting hairs, you might say might be more technical assistance. Because again, we include the webinars that we do for agencies that want to apply for AmeriCorps funding. Any funding that we do, we have a webinar on the actual application. We call that technical assistance, but I mean, it's also could be considered a training because we're trying to train them how to complete the application. But I mean, it could also be, the changed wording says training and supports as opposed to technical assistance. So I think if you want to use 160, that number is valid. We've counted
Okay,
that.
okay.
It's unduplicated
Okay,
count.
okay.
But how you want to call it? Do you want to call it training and technical assistance or support? Whatever you want to call it. I think it's kind of the question.
Okay, so let's look at number of organizations receiving training and support. Are you good with the wording of training and support versus technical assistance? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Do we want to use, if you go down just a little bit, during the first year, gather the baseline receiving training, which is 160, and increase it 5% year over year? Yes? No?
Well,
That's a good question.
so one, I'd say the baseline, I think that was, the question was if 160 is not the baseline, and I would again say 160 is the baseline. So then the question is increasing it 5% year over year, and then that's the question of is that doable comes in.
I mean, with AmeriCorps cuts, the number of programs trending down, right?
It's went back up
Back up.
because we were able to refund those agencies. So we're not going to be able to make that up by adding AmeriCorps programs because that's one agency. Where that's going to come from is increasing attendance at the conference and the people representing various organizations at the conference, and increasing the number of agencies that want to apply for AmeriCorps and attend those sessions where we're training them how to do it.
If I can, I'm a fan of using the 160 and saying 5 year over year because our first output under this session is around that we've already voted on is developing a training and support plan to increase training and support. So I think it's nice to say we're going to create a plan and here's the goal of it. Right? I mean, and LaShawn just, that's only 8. That the increase of 5 is 8.
Okay,
Surely the good.
so using the baseline of 160, increase training and support by 5% year after year.
With baseline of 20, yeah. Organizations receiving BT training and supports will increase by 5% year over year with baseline of
160.
yes.
So we don't need the dream first year.
No.
Yeah, the first year would be 24, 25.
It's-
Given the volatility, is that something we could get behind?
Well, that's a good question.
I think just the volatility of everything.
Well,
Is it doable?
well, my recommendation is you all should plan for blue skies for your plan. And when you come back together next year, if it's raining, then you change your plan.
I'm always of the opinion that the goal of this plan is to drive us to do more.
Yes.
and To do better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just running a status quo plan, which is not.
Sure.
Okay, is everyone good with that? Thank you. Can you say that?
I think I've captured it from,
With a baseline of 160.
Yeah, you got it.
Perfect.
Do we, but with that one question, don't we want to begin with the word organizations and we want to take off the number of?
yeah. Sorry, I just hadn't got to that.
Just that organizations receiving training.
Okay, good. All right, let's move on.
Let me mark all of that to green.
Okay. All right.
So now, so now this, all this other stuff,
You can,
You go away.
this,
we
this
don't,
alternate goes away.
Yeah.
The other is just kind of a note.
okay. Go down to the next yellow. This is, number of organizations served, number of volunteers placed. Increase the number of volunteers placed through 10 serves by 15% by 2028. That's 5% each year.
Well, this goes back to the first
Mhm,
one,
it
because
does.
again, this one is, based on the organizations that we partner with and not the individuals.
Mhm.
So there's a bit of overlap.
So this one's measuring the agencies, not the people.
And the
Right.
number of volunteers, but we also have the number of volunteers placed.
Well,
right?
yeah, again, this is public input, and so whoever provided this input had those in the same sentence. And so I duplicated that in the same sentence. But you can say yes to this and no to this because it's somewhere else.
Do we want to add to our plan, number of organizations served? Increase, are we saying increase the number of volunteers? The alternative for this one, if I'm not mistaken, came from the grants committee to increase the number of volunteers placed through 10 serves by 15%. Is that right?
And I think we just basically looped that into the one we did on the other.
Yeah. the one
Okay, so we're
above.
gonna strike through that. Yes?
Um,
Y'all help me.
Yes.
Strike it, yes? Okay, thank you. And then, do we want to do anything with the number of organizations served? We want to track, or do we want to add that to our plan?
We're talking about the number of actual agencies that are engaging.
Yes,
Yeah, I think we would need to specify in Tennessee serves.
Yeah.
I think, because that's, this number is Tennessee serves numbers. I mean, again, if you add in, because it's organization served, and that is how Tennessee serves tracks it, is an organization posts a need, volunteers fill that need, and then that organization is served by those volunteers. And that's what that 1,800 number is from, the number of organizations that are currently active on Tennessee serves.
do we want to increase that number and put that into our plan? Yes or no? Yes or no, increase the number?
Okay.
Okay. Do we want to use the metric that the grants committee came up with by 5%, or is that too much? Is that too high?
Just that.
Is that doable? Okay, can we use that, Jim?
So,
Increase.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna leave the hashtag and come back to that number.
There's complicated.
Served. That's okay.
Yeah, and
Actually, 90 organizations.
by 5%.
That 5% would be 90 organizations. Is that realistic for staff? 'Cause
Well,
staff-
We added 200 this year.
Okay.
You also have to keep in mind, this also includes all of our sublicenses.
All the sublicenses,
that are
right.
Doing their own recruitment of nonprofits.
Right. Now, eventually, if every single nonprofit in the entire state is on Tennessee Serves, we won't be able to increase anymore. But we're not there yet.
There's
But
40,000, I think we got.
yeah, there's room to grow.
Do we want to lower the 5% down to 3%, or do you want to keep it at 5%?
5%.
Are we doing 5%? Okay,
Oh,
perfect.
no, oh, sorry, are we talking year over year or by 2028?
But we said 2028, then it's.
I would say year over year.
By 2028,
Oh, that's it.
by 2020,
Yeah, let's.
The stretch
That's
goal,
what?
the stretch goal should be year over year.
yeah.
And then you
Yeah,
get
because
it back.
we did 200.
You don't need it this year.
And we don't need it, we can go back.
Yeah, we just.
We don't need it this year. We can wait.
Yeah. That's not a stretch.
Okay,
So
Year over
year over year. Okay, in agreement with, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right.
Can you replace the word serve? It should be served by Tennessee Serve, increase our organization, utilizing, just not that word.
Increase the number of organizations.
Active Tennessee Serve, I don't use the word certified.
Active is the term that Galaxy Digital uses.
Okay.
when We run the reports.
So it would be aligned.
Yeah, it would be aligned with what
Certified
Galaxy
Tennessee
Digital.
Serve is just not-
Okay,
Put active on.
Ken serves.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, can we move forward?
Yes.
Voting on that?
I think we just did, but we can vote again. Is everybody good with the wording on this one?
The only thing I'd say is that, can I add, from
Baseline.
can we add the baseline in there?
Yeah,
Yes.
From, can we just say 1,800?
We already got these. From.
okay. That's great.
It's over on
And you want to look at the security on it.
Okay,
That's fine.
let's move on down to sample outputs. We've got some yellow here. Attendance of the conference increasing. 130 in 2025. How are we feeling about this coming year and with all the issues we're having financially?
Yeah, Candace, right?
I don't blame her. I'm kidding.
What is that percentage up there?
There is none. We're hoping to find
Yeah, the
one.
percentage is,
The 130 is the expected
Is-
for this year, is that right?
no, so.
No, that
that's-
was
yeah.
this year.
Oh, this year, okay.
And well, that was an increase from 2024. I don't know what the number for 2024 was. Candace would probably have at least a guesstimate. But it wasn't, I mean, it was probably closer to like 110, 120.
We said attendance, we're talking about people or in unique organizations.
That's a good question because, if you count unique organizations, it would be a lower number because that count
The
is.
130
I think it's individuals. I think that if I
That
remember
number-
correctly, we,
Yeah, well, that 130 is individuals. It's not organizations.
Will the changes that we are looking to make impact that number this year?
You mean to,
Like the fact that it's a one-day conference and.
well, we hope so.
In a better way.
We hope so.
Yes.
We hope that making it Sunday, Monday, as opposed to Monday, Tuesday, will make it easier for people to attend.
Yeah.
Is the hope, but we don't know.
So I was thinking.
Would you use 26 as your baseline, not 25?
Well, we don't have 2026 yet.
How many think you would?
Why couldn't it be just, at least maintain or exceed last year's?
that's what I was thinking, something similar. Maintain or exceed.
The goal is that it goes up every year.
Yeah.
regardless.
That sounds good.
Maintain or exceed for attendance. Thank you, Heidi.
That is why a lot of the free there.
We're being free on themselves.
Let me check page one. So that's the last one.
If you'll give us just a minute, we're trying to figure out how we're gonna handle the next few minutes. I just want to be cognizant of your time and your energy.
So we've got this one, it's got a bunch of stuff.
Uh-huh. Well, no, that's not.
That's awesome.
So we got. So we have about half as much as to do that we've done so far. Do we need an energizer, a brain break, or can we continue? What's the pleasure of the commission?
Let's go.
Keep going.
Let's go. Oh, you said, oh.
Is everybody good with keeping going? Please take care of yourself. If you need to get up, and get a snack or walk around, that's totally fine. It won't distract us. All right. Let's go. Thank you.
So you want to move to number 3?
Yes, we're on number 3 now. Maximizing the value of communications and partnerships. Going down to the, ALC. Let's read that out. There we go. Increase awareness of engagement and its initiatives. Okay? What? Good. Okay, let's go back. All right. Okay. So we're looking at the yellow here. We've already voted on the first 2 outputs. Number of CSP partners with public-facing volunteer campaigns co-branded with VT, Volunteer Tennessee. We want to track and increase in this plan.
If I can make a recommendation, I think those bullet points under that one would be inclusive of the bigger one.
That was,
Rather
Are you gonna say
than-
the same thing?
that was my
I
note, was
feel
like.
like our minimum of 10 could be those things, like they don't have to be
So those
included.
could be
I think
examples
the
of what
bullet
that might look
points
like.
that Go away.
Yeah, that's,
What would be my recommendation?
Any
Those are just
discussion on that
examples.
recommendation? Yes,
I was gonna say, I think the only reason why those bullet points exist is because we originally had social media, but since we lumped it into external communications, let's not do too.
okay. What's the pleasure? Yes, agree.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you both. So we're taking those out.
But they're definitely activities.
Okay, project activity.
We can move them to the other actions.
Okay.
No, I'm one.
All right, by 2028, co-host at least one event to increase visibility of Volunteer Tennessee. That's that roadshow. How are we feeling about that? Are we okay with that, or do we have any discussion on that one? Just one event. One event. It doesn't have to be a roadshow. What is the what? Co-host, like what, we were going to go to, the University of the South to have our roadshow. That would be co-hosting with them.
Oh.
So you know where else it says.
No.
Say what?
Okay, we're good?
It's a.
Okay.
Can I recommend you take out where it says road shows partner with programs, just because. I mean, I like the road show, we're doing the road show, but I don't want to pigeonhole people into thinking that that's the only thing we're talking about.
Gotcha.
Right, yeah,
You know.
I think
That's a no.
that was just in there as a note, yeah.
Okay, good. So we can make that green. All righty. Scroll on down. All right, now we're talking about the newsletter. Grants Committee suggested that we increase the number of people signed up to receive the newsletter by 3% year over year. Discussion? Anybody have anything to say about that? How many people presently?
Well, we didn't gather that data point because this was added yesterday, so I don't know what that number is right offhand, but we do have that number of people that are signed up to get the newsletter. So we would be able to track an increase.
And it sounds realistic if we plan on doing the work at the top.
Yeah,
Yes or no? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, perfect.
Could I ask a clarifying question? Is this all VT newsletters and just the general VT newsletter?
I think we need to focus on the main because we have X number of programs and that's not going to increase. You're talking about the one that goes out just to AmeriCorps
I think we're
program.
talking about the public one, I think.
Yes.
For this, I think
Yeah, let's not worry about the one that goes out. Well, we can look at separating out the campaigns in Emma and tracking the campaigns separately.
Did that answer your question,
Yeah,
Lindsay?
yeah.
Okay.
Based off what Linda just said, should we just be more specific about which one we're talking about? Receive the general
Public.
public or whatever the word is.
Yeah, well, the one that we send to the AmeriCorps programs is called something else.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, it's called like Team Tennessee something.
okay.
Okay, let's move to the click rate.
What's that mean? I mean, I know what click rate means, but which one?
Vaughn is modeling it for us over here.
Yeah, that's, I should speak to that. I mean, what communication, like when we say VT communication, are we saying those who open the items of the newsletter or those who are on Facebook, Instagram? What do we mean by?
This is, comes from the grants committee. Would you like to?
Yeah, I think we were still talking about the newsletter.
Okay, you need to
So
specify.
specifically see, okay, there's a lot of people who are on the mailing list,
Yes.
but are they actually opening it up and, looking at it enough?
That's a good idea.
Because
Yeah.
Emma does track the click rate.
Yeah, so can we change that to say newsletter instead of just communication?
I think we would need to specify because I don't know that we can track click rates. I mean, we might be able to check click rates.
Yeah.
But
So do we want all social or
Just, were you guys wanting all, or were you just wanting the newsletter?
We were thinking all newsletters. That was just about my question of, is it the VT newsletter? Is it including the Team Tennessee newsletter? Is it including the special edition?
So the question before the board is, do we want to include all communications in this output? Yes?
That's a
Yes,
lot.
It is. Is it doable?
Is it measurably?
Wait, just a minute. Would you respond to that?
It's really easy to get the data from social media now. It just depends on where you want it. Like, is it gonna be LinkedIn across all channels? If it was just Instagram, then that would be really easy. Facebook too, but I think Twitter, it's easy. It is easy. It just depends on what data you want.
I thought we were talking more about push information, not social media when we were talking about open rates and click rates. I mean, for a newsletter, if you can do it by campaign, it's fairly easy to look at open rates, which we thought was the first indicator. Just because you're on a list doesn't mean you're actually reading anything. And then we could get more sophisticated from there.
Thank you, Kim. Somebody,
That's exactly what I was gonna say in different words.
Eileen agrees with you, and that's exactly what she was gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Great minds.
Do we want to revise the wording of this then? Increase the click rate? I'm at a loss.
Well,
Volunteer Tennessee newsletter.
Communications?
I think we specifically mean open rate because click rates are going to look at whether they open the things that are inside it. So open rate is kind of the lowest threshold if we want to start with something that's simpler.
Open rate. So increase the open rates, increase the open rates on Volunteer Tennessee newsletter.
Question. Is it measured differently on a cell phone as opposed to a computer?
No,
do you open the newsletter at Emma Council?
even on your iPad, yeah.
Yeah.
It is
Any other
interesting.
discussion?
Emma will tell you what type of device you open it on, but that's a different day's conversation.
We can track that data if you want. No, just kidding. Lizzie had a comment.
We probably want to look at the 10% because that was the rate.
I'm sorry, I can't hear. Go ahead, Lizzie.
We want to look at the 10% because that was based on click rate and the open rate is we're probably at like a much higher open rate than click rate, so we don't increase.
Would you like to suggest a percentage? You guys?
I can pull up and see where.
It's like 1,300
Can I-
open. the other day.
I know we just changed it to open rate. I hear this. I'm not trying to go back and forth. I promise. But hearing from Lizzie, like, hey, people open it, they're just not doing anything with it. Tracking it to know that people are opening it is really not giving us any value add. But tracking to know, like, they clicked on this part of the newsletter to know, like, this is what we need to keep presenting to them. Truly is the stretch. The status quo is the opening. The stretch is what you're clicking on. And so I really would like to just consider hearing from Lizzie as a subject matter expert on Emma that you're looking at. It's like, maybe we need to look at the click rate of the newsletter.
Great, tell you what people are interested in
Yeah.
your newsletter.
Emma will tell you exactly.
And how
Would you
long
say
they
that just a
there.
little bit louder so people online can hear what you just said?
To add what she's saying, that click rates show you what people are interested in your newsletter.
Okay.
The fact that they're opening it is that they're opening it.
And what was the intent of the grants committee? Was it that they're opening it or that they're actually going to specific places and clicking on certain things?
To me personally, it was, are they actually taking the moment to at least skim what's in there? And, you know,
So
find
it's the click
something
rate.
they're interested in and click on it.
There's a difference between opening and engagement.
Right.
I think the
Well, I
reason,
mean,
the reason we also talked about open rate is just because our open rate is, as related to industry standard, it's pretty low. And they're not going to click anything if they don't open anything. But I think it's an and maybe, not an or.
I think what we need to do is decide if we want to do the, Adam, would you like to say something? If, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Emma has a mailing score that it provides that it takes into consideration open rate, click rate, opt out, like if you were to opt out, not. So if we're getting specific enough that we're calling out Emma, we could use their terminology. They provide each campaign a mailing score. Yeah,
Like, right.
it's they do it out of 10.
Is that doable for us? Are you talking about a score, an overall score then, Adam?
I think been aggregate all the things.
But yeah, so for those of you who aren't familiar, Emma is the platform that we use to send our newsletters. It's just an electronic thing. It's a web-based. We go on, we create the newsletter, we click send, Emma sends it out to the mailing list, and then Emma tracks all of that stuff, the open rate, the click rate, et cetera. And what Adam's talking about is that then after you send every newsletter or whatever it is, Emma will then give you a score for that particular campaign and say, you scored whatever out of 10 on this particular thing.
So-
And it factors in multiple things, not just the open, like the open, the click, and
So-
gives you that one of 10.
So it sounds like what we need to do is to create a baseline if we use the Emma score. And then from there, increase it year after year. Would that be doable? And I know, Krista, you had your hand up.
I'm just gonna say, is the data available right now for the score at this time? Or for the last spend?
The
Or
Emma,
average?
I mean,
Yeah.
for that, yeah, it should be every time you send out newsletters.
We have it for each newsletter individually, right, but I have to look at it.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking, is it available?
Do you know what the last one was?
The last one was 7.8 was its mailing score. The click rate was 5, the open rate was 36.
But the overall score is 7.8, which is
7.8.
so could we use that as our baseline and increase that by certain
Well, it only goes to 10, so I don't know if it would be an increase. I think you could just,
meter exceeds,
we want to meter exceed.
meter exceeds,
Here.
meter
Meter
exceeds?
exceed.
I think meet or exceed.
Okay. Good. The, what's it, what did you, thank you. What did, Adam, what did you call it?
Mailing.
Emma mailing score?
Let me specify Emma.
Yeah. Okay, everybody vote on this one. Are we good with this one? Okay, super.
Specify, I think that that's a monthly newsletter. I'm just a quick question. Do we need to specify that that's a monthly newsletter?
No, I don't think so.
And I know this might be, so can we put Emma in quotation for those who don't know what Emma is? so they can understand it is a title of a.
Yes.
Yeah, like they know Emma is not. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Emma gave the telling story with the,
so that,
Great. All right, nice job, everybody. Let's keep moving. We're getting there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, staff outputs,
so
right here. 100% or 95%. That was three different committees to the
and
combined
everybody agreed
committee.
100%.
Yeah, we agree on 100%.
It's who? I think, or every 3 years or every,
So 100% of commissioners participating in at least one site visit every 3 years,
or every
grant
year.
review or public VT initiative by 2028.
3 years was realistic.
Yes, every 3 years.
Every 3 years. Okay, is everybody good with that?
So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are we, you have every,
It was about the 2028 we need to
Okay.
go.
you have every 3 years following the site visit.
Yes.
So are we separating site visits out from the other items? So for example, are we saying one site visit every 3 years?
That's a good
And
question.
then grant review, public volunteer initiative.
The board development committee said it.
And board development, just like one
Yes.
of those things every 3 years, that's not asking very.
Would that follow the intentions of the board development committee for this one?
Actually, we're the ones who, if I'm correct, we said one site visit every 3 years.
We focused on one site visit.
But then the other grant and whatever stuff.
Well, the site visit, grant review or public initiative, that was in there originally. And then the stuff that's in the red were additions from yesterday.
Yes.
So are you good with us keeping a site visit every 3 years, everyone? Okay, and then grant review or public volunteer Tennessee initiative by 2028, is that a separate piece that you want to hold separately, the board development committee?
I think that a part of my thought, and I'm not representing the board development committee on this one.
Okay.
A part of my thought is, I know there are people, and I was one of them, although I'm trying to shift over, who feel uncomfortable reviewing grants and feel as if we may not be as qualified doing that. I think there are some people who aren't able or have the time to do the site visit. We talked about going out of town, whatever. And then I think it may be true also with the specific, I lost where it was, but the
Grant
yes, the VT initiative.
Yeah,
So it depends upon whether we want to be realistic and try to get 100% to do one of these every 3 years, or do we want to break it down?
okay. Okay, Destiny.
Going back to Eileen, what I think Eileen's saying, and if you're not, this is what I'm saying, it should read 100% of commissioners participating at least one visit, grant review, or public VT initiative every 3 years. End of this, like, that should be how it's written. And so we need to move every 3 years to where it says annually by 2028. Yeah, so it's gonna replace, so every 3 years will replace annually by 2020. And that's what makes it realistic. So if you can't review grants, you can go to a site visit or be a part of initiative. If you have a choice out of the 3 years to do one of the three.
Well, I sat on that meeting and I remember you guys talking about at least having one site visit, each commissioner having one site visit. Doesn't have to be on site, it can be by way of Zoom. In addition, you can do a grant review or a public volunteer Tennessee initiative within the 3 years. That's the how
I feel like that is so.
I do.
Well, I feel like that is the most, like to a point where I think it's too lenient. Like, I mean, it's.
You can always do more.
Absolutely.
You.
There's no way to control what we've got time for.
That's
Okay, so let's go back on track.
Well,
Let's get back on track.
the percentage for this current year is 82.6%. Did one of those three things.
For this year or in the last 3 years?
this year.
this year.
Exactly, so that should be very doable in 3 years. It should, no?
Okay, let's do this one suggestion first. Let's go with what they're suggesting. Let's do 100% of commissioners participating in at least one site visit, grant review, or public VT initiative every 3 years. Period.
That's the most lenient thing.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
should we up it to at least two?
I would
Yeah,
say two.
because our intent was that everyone do a site visit.
At least one site, that's all we discussed.
Yeah.
All we were talking about.
So
But
are we okay with moving it to two? At least two?
should participate in at least two of the following site visits.
Either a site visit, yeah. Is that good?
Yeah.
Amy?
I think so.
Yeah, are y'all clear with what's being said?
It's better, yeah.
We're voting.
You only in a term for 2 years, so if you serve one term and you can serve, you can be done anyway, you don't have to do more terms.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we're taking out by 2028 and putting at the end, every 3 years.
Every two.
Two things for every 3 years.
Every two things, every 3 years.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Let's move down to, this is a big one, 100% or 85% of eligible governor-appointed commissioners participate in in-kind or financial giving each year. We feel pretty strongly about that. Just $1, $5, even if we have a basket here. 100%.
And it can be in kind.
Yeah.
Can be in like, can be a dozen.
We have a question on the table.
So now that my understanding is that like, not everybody is just like you, like applied like I did. It's not like a regular fundraising board. Wouldn't that be more like just having it optional either way? Because it's a very different dynamic in that regard.
Destiny?
So from my understanding, we're a governing board. Anytime you are a governing board, that is an understanding that when you sit on a board, you donate somehow, some way. That is any board member that you ever serve anyway. Our board asks when you, like, it's part of the application, maybe we need to do better with that, but understanding that if you were governor appointed, not an ex officio, because that's a different dynamic, you are expected to donate, even if it's like someone said $5 or in kind. So you drove her just in kind and let it go. That's just a standard across nonprofit.
And the
I
reason,
know that's the standard against like the nonprofit world, 'cause that's what I'm in.
No, for governors.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's where that part starts to, it gets a little fuzzy for me in that way, because it's not. I guess because this is not a nonprofit board, there's not an actual, we have to keep money going to keep this board going. That's where I'm having like.
But we're a governing board, and so that structure is what.
Maybe what she's asking, like, what does the money go for, right? What are we donating to? Is that what you're saying?
I think,
Yeah, and you can specify where you want your money to go. So it can go to GDSA, it can go to general fund, it can go to conference. There's other things.
am I hearing the distinction between the fact that the Friends of Volunteer Tennessee has its own board that actually is the board of the nonprofit? So from a nonprofit perspective, whether or not those people are donating is differentiated between whether or not, because we ourselves don't have a pot of money we're contributing to. We're contributing to somebody else's pot of money. Is that what you're saying?
So is that, I guess that's where I'm trying to figure out, maybe that's where the whole structure of everything. So when the commissioners donate all of that stuff, it's not going to the commission, it's going to.
It's separate.
Right, okay, so maybe that's where, because I kind of knew that, but at the same time, is this, maybe that's what needs to be part of it, where it is put down completely black and white. This is what this function is for, like, this is where the money's going, this is what we're doing with it. And so, because otherwise I have the mindset of when you donate to a nonprofit, if you like his board expectation,
Yes.
you ever get all that money is going to the
Okay.
nonprofit and you know.
Okay.
and so that's the part where I'm
Okay.
getting.
I would like to ask the Board Development Committee, as you're considering that one pager for commissioners, that you kind of address that there. Let's say something about the in-kind giving or, and where that money goes and what it's not going anywhere but to what we're doing in terms of our initiatives. Would that be acceptable, Patricia? So they discuss it and put it into some forms so that as you come on as a commissioner, you understand what that means for this expectation.
Yeah, because
Okay.
otherwise it kind of seems more like you don't actually have to do it. It's
Right.
more for requesting.
Right, right.
But if you don't, that's okay.
Okay, so can we give the, okay, all right, can we vote on this? 100% of eligible governor,
Let's use that I mean.
It is in there.
Governor appointed, well, we don't need the word eligible, I don't think.
Yeah.
okay, 100% of governor appointed commissioners participate in in-kind or financial giving each year. All right. Thank you.
Are you all okay if I leave in the not including ex officio?
Yeah.
Just so nobody understands about what.
Yes.
Do we need to specify, I think Patricia was also kind of saying this, but now that I'm reading it again, do we need to specify that we're participate in-kind or financial giving each year to Friends of Volunteer? Because, I mean,
Well, the in-kind doesn't go to Friends. The in-kind we use internally with Volunteer Tennessee to add to the match that Volunteer Tennessee is required to provide for the federal funding that we get. So.
okay, so let
that-
me throw a little double, because, you know, there could be a board member that gives to another entity and that technically, based on the way this is written, that would count.
Yes,
Good point, Jessica.
maybe we need that.
But no, that does help, because especially knowing that it matches with the federal thing, all of that stuff, I wouldn't know that.
Should we put to Volunteer Tennessee or Friends,
Yeah.
Friends of Volunteer?
Yes.
Can I ask a question? This is, I don't have an opinion. It's just to clarify.
Sure.
Is there any conflict of interest or is it problematic for us to be? The point of it being Friends, the fact that it is a separate neutral entity, right? It's not us. Is it problematic for us to explicitly state? It may not be. Is that a
To
conflict?
explicitly state,
To explicitly state that it has to go to Friends?
No,
Like, are we blurring that line?
well, we've
The
got, I
intent
think,
is that Friends is a separate entity.
we've got to Volunteer Tennessee or Friends of Volunteer Tennessee.
Right.
We're putting them,
We're putting, is that,
and I'm giving it, but I think I understand.
Nathan is,
You know what I'm asking?
yes,
I feel like it's a little problematic.
I don't
Well,
understand.
Friends is explicitly set up as a support organization for Volunteer Tennessee.
and so I think,
It's like, the Friends of State Parks. Friends of State Parks could not go off and start supporting state parks in Kentucky if they wanted to,
But
but
I-
they can't. Yeah.
but State Park never tells you, hey, you should donate to Friends of State Park. You know what I mean? Even when they do a campaign, it's like donate to your favorite park and then you pick which park you want to donate. So he's saying, is it like us telling them?
Well, you all are telling each other
Mhm.
that you are going to donate to Volunteer Tennessee or Friends, so I don't see that there's any conflict. You're telling each other, that's what you expect of each other. I mean,
And that's fine. It was just
Yeah,
a point of
yeah, I know.
clarification.
That's okay.
I think it's fine.
It seems, I know historically, there's like, not just in our case, when you set up a friends organization or a sister organization for fundraising, it's usually done with the intent that things are clean, things are legal, they're independent, they're neutral, and when we start putting an outside entity into our state plan, I feel like it just gets muddy and somewhat problematic. But having said that, I think it might be fine.
Yeah.
Would it be better to just say Volunteer Tennessee? Because,
I'm okay with the way it's listed. I just wanted to know
Okay.
that.
all right, okay, all
I
right.
think you're gonna be fine.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move forward. Let's go forward.
So can I change this to green then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. We're done?
Yeah, except for the.
Do we want, okay, we need to put the ratings into. I think we're there. I don't think-
I don't think this needs to go into the plan, but the vehicle that should be used for donations to Friends is our site on net.
I'm sorry,
I don't think it needs to be in the plan.
that what we just voted on?
Yeah, Yeah, it's just a, you know, points of information to the commissioners that,
Excuse me, can I bring us all back to attention? I'm sorry, go ahead.
it doesn't need to go on the plan, but I just want all the commissioners to know that if you want to make a donation to Volunteer Tennessee through Friends of Volunteer Tennessee, there's a site on Network for Good where you can do that. And you can specify, there's a little unfortunately, there isn't a drop down menu, but there's a designation line where you can say that you want your donation to go to GDSA or the conference or the general fund.
So Eileen, are you saying you want us to take that out?
No, I'm not saying you should change anything.
Okay.
I just want everybody.
You're
to
clarifying.
understand
Oh, okay, all right, are we good?
We're good.
All right, Jim put up on the screen, I really wanted it up here, we walked in, so you know where to go donate. If you have any questions of where, this is it. You can also donate your travel, or you can leave me $5.
And see, I think here, the Friends of Volunteer Treasurer is here, so you can give it.
There you go, you get that.
And it can go directly to the bank.
Yeah. I got one check right now.
You got one check. And you can also do it.
When somebody donates their travel, it does not go to Friends.
It does not.
Correct.
Just for clarification.
It does not.
Correct.
Your travel, it's not going to Friends.
Right.
It's in kind, so even if we transferred it to Friends, there's nothing they can do with it.
Okay,
It's in kind.
before we go to committee work, and we do have some specific things for the committees to work on, Jim is gonna go over the state plan for adults age 55 and older, and that's it for our state plan.
Yeah, so let's see if we can do this in 3 minutes. So, just as a refresher, this part is also statutorily required. The statute is worded really weirdly because it tells us to recommend to the state agency on aging what they should do. Instead, I went to that state agency on aging and said, what do you think we should include in our plan that would assist you in the things that you're doing? So, and they did that. So except for this first paragraph, which is kind of just some general data about aging in Tennessee and volunteerism, all the other stuff is directly from the Tennessee Department of Aging and Disability. Their recommendations of what they recommend go into this plan. So you can see so A just states what we're supposed to have, recommendations for increasing service. So their recommendations, policies that allow family caregivers 55 and older, and still in the workforce, adequate paid leave time for services while they volunteer. Policies that will promote local engagement of retirees to meet social challenges. Policies that continue to promote the use of volunteers in health and food security of older adults. Now, some of these are going to be a stretch if we want to actually try and do all these things, but these are the recommendations of what that would help them from us. Yeah.
Just to clarify, we're just making recommendations for the policy, either developing policy or updating policy. We're not saying we're gonna do these things. Yes? No.
Well, again, the way the statute is worded is we're recommending to them that they do this.
Okay, that's what I.
It's really weird. I mean, we can also address some of these things as.
But it's not taking on tasks necessarily. These are not the things that we are going to do or the staff are going to do. But we're recommending policies that they implement.
That is the way the statute is worded. This actually is the wording directly from the statute.
Okay.
This part under A.
Yeah.
So
Did someone have a comment online? Okay.
But it doesn't, the statute doesn't say that you actually have to do anything. It just recommendations for policies.
Okay.
All right, so these are recommendations for policies.
We're telling them that they should do that.
Well, here are recommendations for policies that would help.
Yeah.
So, however you want to read that, however you want to take it, it doesn't mean that this body has to then do anything about these things.
Right.
Our role is to make the recommendation. Okay, so again, recommendations to the state agency. This is a little bit more text heavy. So I'm not going to read all of it. But they kind of explain what they're currently doing. So the recommendation, well, they explain who they are. Sorry, I'm just trying to look to see if there's anything I can pull out that would make it a little bit easier. But they explain a little bit about their marketing outreach. They talk about their multi-sector plan for aging. Then recommendations for multi-general engagement. Again, these are it's things that we recommend to them, but I've asked them what those recommendations would be. So continued path for senior centers to engage school-age children, statewide focus of media and outreach activities on utilizing retirees, utilizing school service projects to support older individuals' food security, and decrease isolation. Those are all sound like pretty good recommendations. Recommendations for civic engagement and multi-generational activities, using adults 55 and older coupled with college students, high school students to address community problems through service learning projects, developing a wide range of volunteer opportunities for adults that are highly skilled, increase awareness of the ability for AmeriCorps members who are at least 55 and older to start service and transfer their educational award to a child, stepchild, grandchild, step-grandchild, or foster child. And then the last one is development of an Encore service program. An Encore service program is an AmeriCorps term for a program, an AmeriCorps program that has like 50% or more of the AmeriCorps members are 55 and older. So that's what Encore means. And at the time this federal statute was written, which was 2006 or 7 or so, that was a big push. AmeriCorps wanted more older folks to be in AmeriCorps programs, not the senior corps programs, but the AmeriCorps programs. So support potential senior technology programs that would combine volunteers 55 and older with school students working in service learning contexts. So those are their recommendations. Again, I don't think I changed any of the wording at all from anything below A in what they submitted. I just put in this introductory paragraph where we're supposed to kind of talk about what the overall situation is in Tennessee for folks 55 and older.
Do we need to vote on this?
Well, it's part of the overall plan. So I would say, so when you get to the business meeting, you'll vote on accepting the entire thing. But the question at this point is, does anybody want to go into this and start making changes?
No.
Everybody held up a yellow no.
Okay, I mean, I think what's here is good. So I think you should be happy with what we got. So I think that's it. Yes, yeah. I mean, obviously they don't have as much time, but.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the input, the discussion. I think we have a robust state plan. So now, what? Oh. So now we're going to get into our committees. We're going to look at our plan. Your committee is going to pick 2 to 3 outcomes to focus on for 2026. The new one. That should take about 10 minutes. Okay, so you're going to need to review the state service plan, which we'll need to send to somebody in the group and put it in the online. And then appoint someone in your committee to record on the blank sheet what those 2 to 3 priority outcomes will be. Okay? And make sure that somebody's recording that and then we get those before you leave, because we've lost those 4 times, haven't we? Okay? Now, the second thing you're gonna do is to use those outcomes to develop your 2026 action plan. And that should take you up to lunch, probably. All right, so view the activities, who, what, when, discuss the inputs, and again, be as specific as you can be and make sure you have a recorder for your committee. Okay. Consider conference, GBSA sponsorship ideas, kind of do some brainstorming for our conference this coming year. And then here's a couple of things for specific committees, if you don't mind, and I apologize for reading, but this is important. For the board development, please consider the 2026 commission nominees and prepare for the recognition of the 2025 officers in the class of 2025. We'll be doing that this afternoon in our business meeting. Communications, think about Day on the Hill, I don't know if you want to call it the road show, but whatever you want to call that, one public event, and sponsorships for the conference and the GBSA. Foundations of Service, please speak about the Award of Excellence. Grants, I think you know. Commission support grant versus actual review, AmeriCorps formula funding recommendation revisions. Welcome. And the AmeriCorps funding timeline revisions. And last of all, we're going to have a chart up for you to block out dates that will not work for commission meetings for 2026. Okay?
And that will just be, sorry, I'm gonna put up on the wall somewhere and with markers. And if you know dates during the year that are really bad for you, just put a red X on that date. If there are dates that are really good for you, put like a green circle, and don't take up the entire space because everybody has to so just a little X and a little green circle.
So lunch is going to be here at about between 12 and 12:30. And our goal is to be finished with this portion by 12:45 so that we can start our commission business. So at 12:45, we really need to be back seated, ready to go, because we're going to be done by 2 o'clock today with our commission business. Deal? All right, where is the board development group meeting? Same place? Same place, everybody in the same place? Question?
So will the updated new plan be on the screen, or somebody in each of our groups will have it?
I'm gonna email it right now.
To chairs
I'll do it to chairs and to
and
staff.
staff, okay. Any other questions?
Don't mind.
Okay, let's do it.
For those of you in the breakout rooms, I'm gonna allow the staff to move to a different location, and then I'll open up the breakout room. So give us just a second.